Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this here video. And so we're going to be talking about week 11. That's right. We are now at week 11 now, and things could not be more interesting around the NFL. I mean, you look around teams like obviously the AFC North. You've got obviously the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, all teams that still have high hopes here. They're all 500 above in the division. You look at the AFC East, it seems like the Patriots, they're catching grounds with the Buffalo Bills there, but the Bills are still leading that one. Tennessee still standing strong without Derrick Henry and company, 8-2. I mean, no Julio, no Derrick Henry, still no problems for them at 8-2 in the AFC. And Kansas City finds himself right now at the top of the division once again. And so, yeah, things are pretty interesting right now in the AFC. And the NFC, you've got the Packers running away with things in that division, AFC, the NFC North. Then you look at the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks there. Cardinals, they have the lead, but it feels like even though the Cardinals and the Rams, they are front runners right now in the division. The Rams just took a loss to the 49ers. It feels like they're slowly starting to come apart a little bit in terms of more losses here and there. But, of course, you know, especially for the Cardinals, they've got some injuries to key positions, so they're going to want those guys back fully healthy sooner rather than later, but they're still at the top of their respective division right there at 1-2. And then you look at the Cowboys, you know, they're still right now 7-2. I mean, other than that loss they had against the Broncos, which I don't think that was a good representation of what they are as a football team. I think they're much better than that. It's just one of those games that happens that you're just like, we're not going to let that happen again type of thing. But, yeah, the Washington football team had a big upset against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In that one, the Eagles, you know, they seem like they're playing better ball. I said keep an eye out for the Philadelphia Eagles. They could very well find themselves in the playoffs, I think, by the end of the year. Speaking of playoffs, I mean, that race right there in the NFC South, I mean, obviously Tampa Bay, they're the favorites. They're 6-3, but you've got the Saints on their heel at 5-4. You've got the Panthers at 5-5. Now with Cam Newton in at quarterback, you've got the Falcons at 4-5. We'll see how things play out the rest of the way. Things are interesting. But let's go ahead and hop into these picks because that's why you came for it. And so first up here, you've got the Indianapolis Colts going down to the Buffalo Bills. I remember last time these two teams played, it was in the playoffs in the AFC wildcard game, and Buffalo won, but the Colts gave them everything they can ask for. I think this game could be relatively close in this one. I do like this matchup, but I'm going to go ahead and say Buffalo wins this one. Final score being Buffalo 20. I'm going to go 28, Colts 19. 28-19, Buffalo over the Colts. Dolphins versus the Jets. They're going to have Joe Flacco in at quarterback for the Jets. I think that's good news for the wide receivers in terms of padding stats, but not good news for them winning. I think Tua and the Dolphins are going to be able to pull this one off here. And I'm going to go Dolphins win this one with the final score being Dolphins. I'm going to give them 31. Jets, I'm going to give them about 16, 31-16. All right, Houston Texans on the road at the Tennessee Titans. You know, I'm going to predict that in this game right here, Adrian Peterson does get into the end zone against the Houston Texans here. I've got Tennessee winning this one, final score being 23-14 in this one. All right, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and company coming off a bye week here versus the Raiders. Both teams, last time we saw them on the field, you know, they wasn't able to go out there and perform the way that we know they're capable of. But in this game right here, down at the Las Vegas Raiders, you know, I think I'm going to go with the Bengals in this one. I think the Bengals coming off a bye week, they have some time to prep, guys get their mind right here. And so I think the Bengals come out here and get this W against the Raiders. All right, so the Steelers on the road at the Chargers here. So this is going to be one, but hey, the Steelers, they just tied with Detroit last week. That was not a good look for them. Don't know how healthy Big Ben is, right, and all like that in terms of being able to go out there and play, you know. But I'm rocking with the Chargers here. The Chargers, they've been a tough team because sometimes they'll go out there and absolutely light it up, and then lately we've seen them a couple times be flat. But I'm projecting that they're going to go out there, things are going to start clicking, and the Chargers win this one at home, final score being 27-17. All right, Patriots on the road at the Falcons. I'm going to go Patriots win this one 28-10. Patriots win 28-10 in this one. All right. The Detroit Lions at the Cleveland Browns here. So Detroit coming off a first game that was not technically a loss versus the Cleveland Browns, a team that is lost. You know, obviously OBJ is no longer there. Jarvis Landry, you wonder how happy is he with the lack of targets he's getting right now. A lot of things aren't clicking, but one thing that's going to happen right now is that I think the return of a Nick Chubb or something like that's going to be enough to spark this team to where Cleveland wins this game. I'm going to go final score of Cleveland 28, Detroit about 13, 28-13. All right, the Baltimore Ravens on the road at the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for the Ravens to just get back to playing Ravens football here versus the Bears, even though it's going to be down there in Chicago. I think Baltimore wins by the final score of 26-9 in this one, 26-9. All right, 49ers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we just saw the 49ers play against the Rams, and I mean, they looked absolutely fantastic. Love the play call. I mean, within a couple weeks ago, we saw Jacksonville get the dub versus Buffalo. Obviously, they lost against the Colts here, but it was a close game. I go 49ers win this one here. Final score being 28-25. And so Jimmy G, I mean, he's looking good right now as of what we saw last time. If he can keep it going, that's good news for the 49ers. So the 49ers win this one on the road at Jacksonville. But now, what I'm calling the game of the week right here, the Cowboys on the road at the Kansas City Chiefs. I like both of these teams and where they're heading right now. And so it's really hard to determine between these two teams who's going to win. But I'm going to go ahead and rock with the Dallas Cowboys on this one. I'm going to get the Cowboys here to go on the road in a big game and be able to finish this one against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they win by the final score being Dallas 29, Kansas City. They score 28. So 29-28 Cowboys over the Chiefs. All right, Packers versus the Vikings. I think the Vikings show up ready to play in this one. Dalvin Cook has a pretty good game. However, it's not enough because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a pretty good game. I know last week wasn't all that pretty, but I mean, he was just coming back. It takes a little while to get things going. But I think just like we saw him bounce back when he had that game versus the Saints to begin the season in week 2, he just went out there and just lit it up. I think the same thing happens here against the Vikings. I would even advise to start Aaron Rodgers if you got him on your fantasy football team. I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you're wondering that, I definitely would start him here. And so, yeah, Packers will win this one. Final score being Green Bay. I'm going to go 34-31 over the Vikings. Now, the Washington football team, Ron Rivera versus the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton. This is an opportunity for Cam to show Ron Rivera because, I mean, plenty of times I felt like there was opportunities for Washington to bring Cam on, but it's clear Ron Rivera did not want that. And so this is a great opportunity for Cam Newton to go out there versus his former coach and hand him a loss. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Although I know the Washington football team just gave Tampa a loss right here. And so, but they were at home that time. I think Carolina, they're playing with a newfound energy that Cam's going to provide for them. And combination of him, Christian McCaffrey, it's going to be a lot. Obviously, no Chase Young for Washington. I got Panthers winning this one. Final score being, I'm going to go 22-17, 22-17 over the Washington football team. All right, so the Saints on the road versus the Eagles. And so the Eagles being at home, I think that's big right here because I feel like in this matchup right here, it's close and just depending on how things go. So I'm going to rock with the whole team, the home team here. And I'm going to say the Eagles find a way to pull off the W against the Saints here. Final score being Philadelphia. They get about 22. Saints, they get about 20, 22-20. Eagles over the Saints. All right. So next up, you've got the Cardinals on the road at the Seahawks. I mean, who knows just how healthy Kyler Murray is right now. But what we do know is that they need a healthy Kyler Murray right now. That's what they need. They're going on the road versus the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks, when we saw them out there, they didn't look that good. They didn't look that good at all. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Cardinals are going to win this one. Final score being Arizona 17, Seahawks 14. 17-14 Cardinals over Seahawks. All right, so in the final matchup, the Giants on the road at Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's upset right now. Tampa Bay is disappointed in how they've been playing lately right now. They're not going to stand for that again. And we know the history of the Giants versus Tom Brady. However, I think that this one goes to Tampa Bay at the end of the day. I think Tampa Bay wins it. Final score being 29-17 over the Giants, 29-17. All right, guys, so there you have it. I mean, the NFL, one thing that we've learned, especially this season, upsets do happen. There are plenty of teams out there that I feel, could provide such upsets and stuff. I mean, you look across the board, really a lot of these games. I mean, I think the Colts have a good chance to possibly win on the road. I've also believed that, the Jets being at home, just depending on how healthy Tua is, that could make things interesting there. But no Mike White, I don't think they'll be able to pull that one off. Raiders, they could very well win at home as well. Steelers, we know what they can do against the Chargers also. And then looking through this, Jaguars potentially. Kansas City certainly can, especially at home too, and the way that they're playing right now. I mean, this was a coin toss for me, literally a coin toss for me between these two teams. Let's see. Other than that, maybe you could say Washington, the Saints. You could say. I would even give the Seahawks a chance if Russell Wilson went out there and played like the Russell Wilson that we all know. But there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for Week 11. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. Appreciate you guys so much for coming through and checking out my picks here. Let me know which picks you guys, agree with, what your picks are for this week, all that stuff in the comment section for sure. But appreciate you guys again for joining, and see you guys next video.